Okay, in this tutorial we're going to cover the Polygonal Lasso tool. And if you've already gone through any of the marquee tools or the other lasso tools yet, you'll notice that this is not that much difference, but the difference between this tool and the lasso tool is that it's more based on geometric shapes. So everything's the same. You'll be able to make your tool presets up here. So anything up here that you want to set the same, you'll be able to save as a preset for future use. But you'll notice that you start with this line, right? So if I click here and then I start to drag, it's giving me a straight line. And if I were to make another point, and see, kind of anchors it there, and I want to make another point and anchor there. So I'm confined to angular geometric shapes, and there I go. So I have a hexagon here, 6 sides. You are capable of doing the same things as the lasso tool or the marquee tools, where you can add a selection. So if you stay on this, as always, it will make a new selection and it will not allow you to keep your old selection. But if I hit this button, you'll be able to add to the selection and make other shapes. And you see how it added the two shapes together? So not only can I make other new shapes like this that are separate, I can also decide to include them, and it will sync them all together. Then you have the subtract. So if I wanted, to get rid of all the stuff that's not her face, I could do this. And if I wanted to intersect, so say I only wanted her eyes here, right? So I could go like this, way over here. And notice it's only going to select this stuff inside of my previous made hexagon when I select this. Boom. Okay. So there I have her eyes. Of course, if I want to feather, I can. If you want to know about feathering or anti-aliasing, go ahead and look in this marquee tool, rectangular marquee tool tutorial. And I'll explain that in depth there. As far as this refine edge, if you want to learn more about this, I'm going to just show you quickly. By hitting this button, you can actually choose what you're looking at. So I'm going to do it on layer. So there I've selected and masked out everything else. And as with the lasso tool, you can smooth your edges. So notice my corners there kind of just got rounded. Let me show you that up close. So you see my corners got rounded with this smooth tool. So if I crank it down, there's my corner. If I crank it all the way up, it takes a second and then it rounds them. If I zoom out, I'm going to Command minus here and feather this, you'll see that it really spreads the angle of my edges and it blurs them out. So I can also throw in some contrast and kind of do the opposite thing. And of course, my shift edges are going to raise the edge of the original selection by raising it or minimizing it. And that is the refine edge aspect of this tool. So if you want to learn about anti-aliasing or the standard feather, you just kind of saw me do some feathering there, but I will and have already explained that in the lasso tool tutorial. And that is the Polygonal Lasso tool.